Let's build.
Have you ever had a dream that you had
My name is Yves Darbouze.
Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yay. The mother plane keep the nuclear weapons at bay.
And this is the Pan-African product. Right? Let's remember what this show is about. This show is about the design of a system to give African liberations to all Africans everywhere. It's not to really talk about current events, even though current events has forced us to have a conversation. Our system, the Pan-African state, has to have a social contract, right? A social contract. What is that, right? A part of a social contract is a constitution, right? That's a part of it, a Bill of Rights. These are the promises given to you by the social contract. The social contract is, in this system that we've designed, has two prongs to it. One is the categorical imperative. Have you guys ever heard of a guy named Kant, a philosopher named Kant? Let me try to straighten out here, because I do get tilted on an angle and I mess everything up. So I apologize to y'all for that. But nonetheless, right, Kant talked about categorical imperative. What is the thing that you operate under to achieve the relationship between you and the people? I talk about it as it becoming a centrifugal force that forces us together, that these gifts, these promises under this structure gives you a system. It creates the idea of the greater good, not just it's good because it makes me feel good or it suits my morals. It is just a societal understanding of what is the greater good, right? I sum it up as what I call a user story, right? And for developing the Pan-African state, I created out a user story for the Pan-African state. I want to live in a country that, or where, right? Let's put this idea nice and big here. I want to live in a country where I am, most importantly, safe, prosperous, and here I like to say sovereign, but that's too complicated a word. Let's just say free. I want to live in a country where I am safe, prosperous, and free. That is our user story. This is the epic. We have to do that for the African people in order for them to want to be ruled by you, for you to become their government. You have to deliver on this. That is the feature that has to happen. It cannot be argued, right? Let's now come back to this side of things, because here we're talking about general will, the people. How do we set up an idea for the people so that we are the best versions of ourselves? What oath do we say to ourselves on a day-to-day basis? Like the vision for our way of life. Our way of life, right? What do we get out of that, right? We get free speech, right? And a decentralized media. You get an honorable military. What are the tangibles? You may not even like these, but you also get health care. You also get free education. So the free speech, decentralized, right? Decentralized media, honorable, you get health care, you get education, you get representation, you get the tribal conference, right? Where the voices of your tribes are heard, where our legislation comes from the people that you choose to represent you for the core of your being, your own representative, beyond the president or the leader of your country, whether it be king, prime minister, president, default ruler. All of those are potential representatives. But the point being is that the social contract agrees to have this. and for you to have a voice. Please check out some of our work that I've done, some of the other videos that I've done on this. It's important to understand that this social contract gives you this new form of government that gives you a voice, that allows you to choose, that guarantees you work, that makes sure that no one is impoverished, right? And no one is illiterate, right? We want everyone making decisions to have a skill. Not everyone's going to be a lawyer or a doctor or an academic, but an academic can't do what my plumber does, or even my carpenter. My carpenter, Sterling, is an amazing artist, right? I don't care what his education is. I care that he's has the skill to make magic all throughout this house, and is an amazing person as well, right? But this social contract is kind of why we're here. It's the way we want to live when we are free. What do we get, right? No poor, no illiterate. We have Ubuntu income, right? Everyone should start off with a basic amount of income, but that's not why we do it. We do this because Africa is rich. Africa is wealthy. So all of the African people should not be poor. This is not a gesture. This is not even socialism. It's your cut, right? And I am a pragmatic socialist. I don't say it like it's a bad word. It's just to end the argument. This should happen to lift 400 million Africans out of poverty. And this will help Africans, businesses, more than it will help Africans. Because guess what? If you have this, people will pay their rent. People will buy your stuff. People will live their lives. They'll go to the soccer games. They'll go to the concerts and the events, and they'll buy crap because they got it. Because they live in a society where everyone is okay. At least that's what we're aiming for. The social contract of the Pan-African state, it has to offer the people something better. It has to achieve these goals, this categorical imperative, right? This idea of a user story, which is something technical. It's a tech thing. It's the things we make these sentences. We add these. Who we're building it for? We're building it for the people of Africa, and the basic people of Africa, all of them, every single one of them. I want to live in a country where I am safe, prosperous, and free. That's the bottom line. That's the core thing that we're giving. Our core categorical imperative is that. But most importantly, before I let you go, before I stop talking about this, all of this feeds into this one idea. Africa is for the Africans. That's right. Ding, 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 ding. Africa is for me and you. It's something worth fighting for. It's something worth dreaming of. It's something worth reaching, right? This concept that Africa is for the Africa, that is our social contract. That is our main operating theory, right? That is what we're aiming for, to service the general will of the people with a categorical imperative. That's where we're taking this thing. My name's Yves Darbouze. I invite you to join me in mind and thought, and wonder to yourself, what would it take for me to be able to sleep easy at night, knowing there will be no coup d'etats, there will be no attacking, landing foreign country, that nobody wants to mess with us, that we're safe, that we're food sovereign, that people aren't in the street desperate. I think we could live in a better way. I think utopias are bad things to wish for, but what we're building here is real, and it could be the way we live for 1,000 years. I believe that. I believe that. What do you dream of? This is what I dream of. A free Africa. My name is Yves Darbouze.